What's up guys, COE33 here in the GarageCade, and today the fun begins because it's time to start working on fixing these machines up, getting them running, and of course I've got to start with this Aliens Extermination, guys. Global VR put this out back in the day, and when I saw this at that arcade pick that I went to the other day, if you guys saw my last video, you know I picked up a bunch of arcade machines, and this was one of them. Paid $375 for this bad boy. A steal, and now it doesn't have a PC inside of it, so I do need to replace that, so that will be an extra cost, but still great deal. And all in all, it's in pretty good shape. There's some issues. It's definitely dirty. It's been sitting in an old warehouse for quite a while. It hasn't been plugged in for quite a while as well, so I'm going to go through and clean it. I think that's going to be step one. And then I'm going to open it up, look inside, probably clean out inside as well, and see what needs, like make sure everything's plugged in correctly, and see what we need to do to it before I actually can fire it up and play it. And then of course once it's up and running, we'll test the guns and make sure everything's calibrated well. And yeah, very exciting. Okay, step one, let's clean this. Okay, I'm gonna start right here in this control panel. You can see how filthy it is. I might even switch out that hardware. We'll see how it cleans up. I'll have to do something about this. Probably stuff something in there and do a little electrical tape or some kind of compound or something just to make it look nice. And but let's start with giving it a good clean all up in this area. A little simple green makes a big difference. I think I'm actually going to get some security bits and take this off so I can clean underneath it, because you can see how grody it is in the corners there. All right, I got my security bits out. Let's see. It looks like it's probably going to be one of these guys. Did I get it on the first try? Nope, a little too big. One size smaller. There we go. Okay, let's take this panel off. I'm excited to fix this all up. I love me some Aliens. And this is a fun game. I have played this at the arcade before. If I remember correctly, these guns have some pretty sweet force feedback. And make sure I keep all this hardware in one spot. Might go to the hardware store and replace some of this hardware. I don't know how. No, probably not. This isn't going to be like a restoration. This is just cleaning it up, getting it working. This, you know, this lived in an arcade. It's seen a life. It doesn't need to be pristine. Because you start going down that rabbit hole, and then you start replacing side art, and T-molding, and who knows, I don't know. I'm just going to go with the flow, and if something comes up that is just not cutting it, that I feel like it's going to bother me, I need to replace or fix, then I'll do it. But I would like to keep this on the cheap as much as possible, because costs can really add up with projects like this real quick. So if I can just put a little TLC into this, a little sweat equity, and because you know I bought it for so cheap, if I can get into this and like all in be, I don't know, under 600 bucks, something like that, then I'd be a happy camper. Now I know you can replace, I saw on Global VR's website, they have the various individual stickers and components and plexis and all that stuff that you can buy. And then, so I'm gonna clean that up. That's disgusting. And then here's the insert. I'm gonna clean that up. And then there is some lights underneath there. And that needs to be vacuumed out. So I'll do that and clean all that up. So let me get my little mini vacuum, which is actually right over here. This is the perfect tool for this job. I've got this little tiny vacuum that plugs in via USB. And I've got a a long extension cord here that has a USB port on it that I'm using to plug the light in so it's not dark in here. It's a dainty little vacuum, but it does the job. Cool. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's clean that plexi with some paper towels and some Windex. Half the battle is having the right tool for the job. Sometimes it's just simple as paper towels and Windex is all you need. Make something look like new. Because this thing probably hasn't ever been cleaned. I was looking at how many plays this machine has on it. It has 112,000 plays. So this machine's made a lot of money over its life. People like the aliens. I don't blame them. There's some cool features on this machine. I look forward to firing it up for the first time and actually playing it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clean up the inside in here. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see what your guys' view is. Turn this around. I'm using my 360 camera. Oh yeah, you can see in there. Cool. There's two little speaker panels in here, and there's two lights. They got crud on top of them. At some point someone might have spilled something, or who knows, a little hair in there. There's all kinds of crap. And all this crud in the crevices here. Oh yeah, much better. It's one dirty arcade cabinet. Once I have it all clean and I have the PC in there, then I'll fire it up and make sure all the lights are working, all that kind of stuff. That's going to be a learning process. I am not by any means an expert at any of this. Hopefully by the time I'm done fixing all these machines up, I will have some more knowledge in this department. I mean, I've done certainly some of this over the years. I restored that Valley Fireball Home Edition pinball machine. That was fun. I fixed up my Neo Geo a little bit. I like to repair home consoles and stuff like that, so I have some experience with this kind of thing, but not a full-size arcade cabinet quite like this. And each one's different, so yeah. I think there's probably it's a learning experience for every new machine. Now this thing got wet at some point, so I'm going to try to clean this up a little bit, and let's see, I think I'm going to use a microfiber towel for this, and maybe a little simple green. Alright, that is good as new. Big improvement there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, way better. Got a little yellowing on the back, but that's okay. Not a mage. Okay, so let's put that back in place. And then let's get the plexiglass. Put that back on. Yeah, it's going to be significantly better. Start putting that back. I want to reuse as much as possible. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on this. Phone's going off. Okay, let's get these back in. Now this is backlit, so it glows when you're playing it. This lights up, which is pretty cool. It says mission objectives. Use red button to launch grenades. Okay. How do these feel? Feel good. Use the yellow button to operate flamethrower. Sweet. Where's the yellow button? Oh, wow. Cool. Don't shoot fellow Marines, yeah. Shoot power-ups for ammo, health, grenades, rocket, and flame. Nice. Use the radar to locate targets. This is fun. It's a good use of that 360 camera too, because I can just mount it. I've got it suction cup mounted to the monitor at the moment. So convenient, because I can just put it up there and do my thing. The only downside I see is that I'm taking 4K 360 video and I'm just letting it go, so these are going to be large file sizes. And I'll have to edit it down, of course. But I kind of just want to take you guys on the journey so you can see the before and the after. I used to watch videos like this back in the day on John's Arcade. You guys ever see John's Arcade? That was actually the first YouTube channel that kind of got me into YouTube. I loved watching him work on his arcade machines and checking out his downstairs arcade, or not downstairs, in the basement. Hey guys, we're in the basement. He's not really uploading content anymore, but I certainly enjoy his content when he does. I think I've seen all of his videos. If not all of them, a lot of them. That one's a little stripped out, but it's fine. It's in there. Oh, big improvement. The printout feels a little low resolution to me, but that's just how it came. I don't think replacing that would change it unless I printed one out myself. It's a really good printer. But again, I'm not going for perfection here. This is, I don't think I'd call this a restoration as much as a bringing it back to life. Oration. I don't know what I'd call it. There we go. Beautiful. Much better. I think I'm just going to get a Q-tip. A little rubbing alcohol. I'm just going to clean out those crevices on the hardware. Yeah, that's helping. Get the hardware a little cleaned up. And then one nice file clean around the edges. Okay, there we go. Look at that crud. Okay. So that's that. Now let's go ahead and get that microfiber. Let's clean up these guns. Get these all nice and... They look like they're in pretty good shape. I don't see any damage on them. Hopefully they work, because these are expensive to replace. These are, I think they're like $700 or something like that, crazy price. And yeah, I'd rather not have to replace these if I don't have to. They've taken a lot of abuse over the years, I'm sure. This is kind of an interesting gun game because these are fixed to the cabinet instead of like a Time Crisis or something, or a Virtual Cop or Area 51, where you can hold on to the guns outside of the cab and they're on a cord. These ones are actually fixed, which I think it's just because there's so many features here with the flamethrower, the rocket launcher, the force feedback, all that kind of goodies. So I think it's probably a good trade-off. I'm okay with that. People were probably banging on these things all the time. 112,000 times people have played this, so I can only imagine the abuse. These may not even be the original guns. Who knows? They could have been replaced a couple times by now. I have no idea. I don't know. I know this was en route locally. I don't know where, though. There appears to be a little LED tube in the gun here. So this glows. This turns on and glows in various colors when you're shooting. Imagine when you pull the trigger, the colors, or whatever color it's set to, flashes. If they don't run out of Q-tips. I see little areas like this. Oh, the crud builds up. People spilling drinks, and who knows? Oh, that's really kicked on. Actually, I may need the simple green. Loosen up some of that caked on dirt in the corners there. Oh yeah, that's all I needed. A little simple green, that came right off. I don't really like to use anything harsher than simple green, if I can get away with it. I'm sure there might be people watching that do this more often than I do. If you see something that you think I'm doing incorrectly, or you have some recommendations or suggestions, by all means, let me know. As I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just kind of feeling my way through this process. And yeah, as I said, it's not going to be a restoration. I'm just making it look pretty. I'll probably go through and fix things up with a Sharpie. Kind of when I see the little issues on the cabinet, instead of replacing the side art, I'll just fill in the holes with a Sharpie and call it good to go. I just want it to be presentable. When you see it, you know, generally, unless you're really looking, I think these machines display pretty well, even with their little blemishes. I think it's going to look real nice. It already looks better. There's a big old ding of the plastic on the side over here. Some nice green translucent plastic trim. That's in good shape, so that's nice. I'm sure things like a magic eraser might come in handy at some point. Yeah, when you see those scratches that won't come out, sometimes all you need is a magic eraser. They do wonders. I always try to have some magic erasers around because I find myself using them all the time for all kinds of various different projects. Okay, that's way better. Just kind of getting this whole gun area spruced up. Okay, let's move over to this gun. Simple green is working wonders. I think I'll probably do this in parts so these videos aren't too terribly long. Or maybe they'll be long form videos. I don't know. I'll have to, when I'm editing this, I'll make that decision. Or you guys let me know. You like the long form videos or short and more concise? I know I've certainly watched other people do projects like this, and they can be over an hour long for each part of the video because there's a lot going on here. I'm glad I picked up that 360 camera because otherwise I would have my phone on a tripod, or I'd be just stopping every once in a while to film something for you guys, which isn't really convenient for me and not the greatest for you either from viewing. This way I can just stick that somewhere. It's getting all the angles at one time. So in editing I can just go through and pick the angle I want. and present it to you guys. Okay, now there is a little tape on here, a little scotch tape, but it doesn't look like it's doing anything. So that's coming off. It's not holding anything in place. I think it's just on there. Maybe the price tag or something. Because when I went to buy all these, they all had pieces of paper stuck to them, and the prices and what's wrong or what's working with each machine. So, you know, you kind of had an idea of what you're getting into. This one says it works great, no PC. Gun's working. I talked to the guy who was really nice, by the way, and he's been super helpful even after the fact, and I'm going to probably buy some more stuff from him. He said that he would send me a link to the PC, and it's like $200 and something. $250, $275, I don't know. I'll find out. $2 something. And I'll order that and plug that in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that's all it'll be neat. So spots like this, I'm just going to come through after I clean. I'm in Sharpie and patch, and yeah. Sharpies they do wonders. you can much like a magic eraser where you can solve a lot of problems with the magic eraser, you can solve a lot of problems with Sharpie. Machines like this isn't like a Crystal Castles or something that has some kind of collector value. This is a somewhat later release Aliens Extermination arcade machine, and certainly to me, someone like me who's a massive fan of Aliens and arcade cabinets and stuff, there's value there. But I don't think this will ever be a proper collectible. I don't know, I could be wrong on that, who knows? I don't know. I say that, but then each generation, they have their own, kids growing up when this came out. They may have nostalgia for it when they're older or middle-aged. They come onto a little disposable income and they want to buy themselves an Aliens Extermination cabinet because they remember playing it. For me, that would be Mortal Kombat 2, NBA Jam, Frogger, stuff like that. Although I love all generations. I find joy even in modern arcades. I think there's fun to be had in everything from the 80s and the classics like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and Frogger. I love that stuff. But I think, if you open your horizons, you can have fun playing some of these modern arcade games. I mean, they have stuff like, I don't know, what's a good example? Crossy Road. That was a phone game, right? But they had that big arcade cabinet, the Crossy Road. I thought that was kind of fun. And you win tickets and you can go cash in your tickets for stuff. I don't mind stuff like that. Is it, I know I hear a lot of arcade purists poo-poo on that stuff. And I guess I don't really see it that way. I see it as that's what kids want these days, and if that's what they want, and that's what they want to play, then why the heck not? Would I like more kind of skill-based arcade games? Yeah, I would. Other than this, most of the modern arcade games that come out that aren't redemption games or shooters or driving games, which is cool. I like both of those. But you don't generally see a lot of skill-based kind of point going for high score kind of games. That's just because they don't sell. So they don't make them. Okay, now I need definitely some magic eraser over here. There's all kinds of scuffs and stuff. And actually the paint, I don't know if that's paint or what happened there. I think I'm actually out of magic erasers right now, so I may have to make a trip to the old store. Oh, there's some more tape on here. Let's get that off. There's tape over here too. I'll look. There might be a magic eraser floating around somewhere, hopefully. You have to be careful. I mean, like if it was white plastic, then yeah, you got a little scuff or scratch on there, then magic erasers are great. I'm not sure how it would be on this black plastic. I may just have to fill some of these spots in with a Sharpie or something. Definitely want to get this tape off though. Switching to my phone for just a second so you guys can see what I got done here. Now it's it's not perfect, but boy, is it better. That needed it. And then I cleaned up this gun. Now I'm going to get into the little nooks and crannies with some Q-tips. You can see there's a sticker on the front there and sticker there, and I got this control panel cleaned up. So yep, it's coming along. I just cleaned the back of the cabinet here. So this is the topper. That was disgusting. Now it's clean. The grill was all nasty. I cleaned that up. You can see the damage that the topper took. Now someone glued it to fix it. There's a missing piece of hardware right there, so I just had to put a nut on there to secure that. I might actually take this off. In fact, I think I'll do that next. I'm gonna take this topper off, clean it up, and replace it and put a new nut on there. So let's do that next. I just took the topper off, and you can see it's pretty dirty and dusty up here. Hopefully that bulb works all right, but that's an easy fix. If not, actually it looks like it might be burned out, but we'll find out. And I'll clean that up a little bit. Move the topper over here, and I'm just gonna clean it up with some Windex and some paper towels and see if I can clean up that damage a little bit. Yeah, I don't think this will be an easy thing to find a replacement for. I'll keep an eye out, and if I can find another one of these and the price isn't too bad, I'll definitely go ahead and do that, because having that damage is not ideal, but at least it's all there and somewhat presentable. So it could be worse, it could be better. I started cleaning the side art. I'm just using a microfiber towel and some Windex, something that's not abrasive or harsh. Just giving it a little light clean just to get the grime off of here. And then I'm going to go through and touch up little areas with Sharpie that need it, so you don't see all these little marks all over the place. It's not too bad. Actually, the side art's pretty good. Considering that this machine's taken a fair amount of abuse over the years, I think it's pretty presentable. So once I Sharpie it all, it'll be even better. And then I'm going to come down here and clean these feet because they're looking a little gross. I'm working on the front of the cab now, and you can see the locks have all been drilled out, so I'll have to buy new locks. I think after I get it all cleaned, I'll go through and make an inventory of things I actually need to buy. I cleaned up the feet down there. I Sharpied the side of the cabinet. Now I'm cleaning the front, and then I'll do the same to the right side of the cabinet because those legs are still dirty, and I need to clean off this T-molding and these doors and get the tape off of this coin mech there. And you can see that this game has been well loved. 122,111. Looks like I'll need a coin bucket to go in there. I'll probably clean that out while I'm in here. And then I'll clean up the mechs, clean out the insides, get that all nice and together, and see what we got going on here. I see a power switch. Looks like the controllers are USB. That's not surprising. And then I'll open up the back at some point and see where the PC, I need to buy the PC and put that where it goes. Got money. Came out of the coin reject here. Is there any more in there? No, what did I get? Nickel, some pennies. Cool. All right, the front of the cab is all cleaned up, and I Sharpied all the imperfections on the doors there and took the tape off the coin receivers and cleaned up the bottom here. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's clean now. There's some damage on the control panel here, so I think what I'm doing is probably just stuff something in there and use a little electrical tape just to kind of clean it up a bit, and so there's no sharp edges for anyone to get caught on. It's not too sharp, but still, and also that'll protect it from getting damaged more. So not a super bomber fix, but it'll be better than it is right now. I stuck a little steel wool in there. Now I'm going to cover it up with the tape. Nice little cheapo fix there. It turned out pretty good. I just filled in all the damage on the corner here with Sharpie, and that looks a lot better. And there's a little bit of damage to the plastic right here, so I'm going to do the electrical tape treatment to that as well. I got the back all opened up, and looks like we have all our connects for the PC. So I got to buy the PC, and looks like we have VGA for the monitor, USB probably for the guns. There's two USB. Let's say right gun. There we go. And then another USB. Looks like probably audio, and then power. And then looks like I'm gonna need a power cord for outside of the cab. Those are easy to get and cheap. And we got the power supply. It looks like everything's hooked up to that. All right, I'll clean that off here in a second. Looks like we have a driver board of some sort. I see a USB coming off of that. So I'm not sure what that is. A soundboard maybe? Could be. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to check out the manual. And then there's a strap in there. That's probably for the PC. You probably put the PC right in here and strap it down. And then you have all the wiring, I know it's hard to see, for the coin mechs and the speakers, and then the CRT monitor. It's up here. There's the VGA that goes to the computer. And then there's a fan that needs some cleaning because it is dirty. And here, so I'm going to vacuum this out and get it all nice and clean in here. And then I'm going to order, what do I need to order? I need to order the PC. I need to order locks for the coin doors, 2 locks. I need to order a plug for right there, unless there's one in here. I don't think so. An extra one or something, no. Don't see one. There is no back panel for the monitor here. So I'm going to measure that and probably just cut a piece of wood and put it right in there just for safety reasons. You don't really want the monitor exposed. You want that closed up. And oh, it looks like since there's a fan there, I'm gonna have to cut a grill of some sort so airflow can go into there. So that's not that big of a deal. There is a back piece for this compartment, but it's a little bit damaged, so I might actually cut 2 pieces of wood possibly. One for this back panel and one for this back panel. So that shouldn't be too much. The computer is the most expensive thing. And then locks and the power cable don't really cost much at all. The wood is, if I might have some that would work, in which case I'll cut it myself. If not, I'll just measure it, go down to Home Depot and have them throw it up on their bandsaw for what, 50 cents a cut or whatever it is. I forget. It's been a while since I've done that, but they'll cut it right there for you. It makes it easy. Yeah, that's about it. I see a Molex connector of some sort that's unplugged up there. So I'll have to figure out, I'll have to look at the manual and see what all this goes to. But the cabinet is, the outside of the cabinet's clean and sharpied and electrical taped. And yeah, this is pro restoration with COE 33. Move over, Bob Vila. So now I'm going to go ahead and get all the nasty dust out of here and clean the inside. Much better. All clean in there, got the dust out. So we've got a power strip there, power supply there, PC goes there, various cables. Only area you really want to be careful of is with these CRT monitors. You don't want to start touching things you shouldn't be. You can actually get electrocuted and potentially die. I think the most dangerous spot is kind of up in there, in the neck of that CRT. I'll probably, before, if I ever have to like service the CRT, I'll definitely do lots of research and make sure I know what I'm doing, or have a tech come out. Hopefully the CRT is good, because that's an area I haven't really had much experience working with, these CRTs. So yeah, either I will do a lot of research if I need to do anything up here, or I will have someone come out and service it. But my understanding is the CRT on this one is pretty good and ready to go, so it shouldn't be an issue. I do see that there is a edge connector here that doesn't have a Molex or anything on it, so, but I think that should be all right because it runs out to VGA, so I think that VGA cable just comes out to the PC. So let's see. There's not much left to do, guys. I just gotta order some parts. So I think part one of Aliens Extermination is more or less done. I basically just went through and power cleaned it, and boy, does it look better. Look at that. Very presentable. I cleaned it up real nice. I Sharpied it with an inch of its life. Every little spot on here that I could go in and Sharpie, I Sharpied so that you can't see. You know, there was a couple areas like right over here. There was a bunch of exposed wood right there where it got dinged in a corner. So I Sharpied it so you can't see that anymore without looking real close. And the front here looks way better. The control panel looks way better. You know, obviously not flawless, but compared to where it was, it's all very presentable now. That made a big difference, getting rid of that with a little electrical tape there. I cleaned up the monitor and cleaned up the topper, cleaned out the inside of the cab. So I'm going to order some parts. I'm going to call it a day for part one, and when the parts arrive, I'll install those, and we'll do a test run of Aliens Extermination, see if it's playing right, and if it is, awesome, I'm done. If not, then we'll troubleshoot and see what we need to do. Hopefully those guns work good. And the big, like, fingers crossed that the monitor is good and the guns are good. If that's the case, then throwing some locks on there and throwing a PC in there, no big deal. All right, guys, I appreciate it. That's it. We're posting new videos all the time here on the channel. There's a community Discord, the Dragons Lair, where you can hang out when I'm not posting videos on YouTube. I'm live streaming on Twitch, guys, every Tuesday and Thursday. I'd love to see you over there for all retro gaming on original hardware, even a CRT television at COE33. Links in the description below. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye.